Most people choose their career around high school or college or shortly thereafter, and typically most people stick to that career or some variation of that career until retirement. Most people do dream about other jobs, like, really, let's be honest, who doesn't walk into some place and think, wow, it'd be really cool to do that job? Like, you walk into the Space Museum and think, geez, it'd be really cool to be an astronaut or a doctor or a race car driver or something like that. Most of the time, people don't move on to those other careers because they feel as though they've been stuck where they're at with as much time and effort as they've put into it in order to get to where they are. Or they just simply have family and friends that tell them how ridiculous it is to try to change careers. It's too cost prohibitive to get the training or what have you. And I've been there. I spent more than 20 years in the fire service. I served in the military. I was overseas. And until I was forced to change, I never had any idea that I could become an airline pilot. I was always told by family and friends that it's just too hard to do. But one thing I needed to do was get over the I can't do it attitude. What happened to me was I'd suffered multiple severe injuries and had multiple surgeries over a 3-year period, and I just couldn't do the job anymore. So finally the fire department made the decision for me, and either I retired or they would terminate me. And so after nearly 30 years of public service, I was effectively unemployed, and I had not been unemployed for over 30 years. But getting over that I can't do it attitude was part of the one of the biggest hurdles that I needed to get over. Part of doing that was kind of releasing my fear and trepidation to the Lord and my family. My family prayed for me, and my friends prayed for me. And quite honestly, if you have friends that tell you you can't become an airline pilot after age 40, you need to get yourself a new set of friends. However, I'll kind of walk you down the path of how I did it. I had been a pilot for over 15 years. I'd gotten my private, and then I got my instrument rating, and I really just went no further. So the day that I turned in my papers to resign from the fire department, I also called Mission Aviation Training Academy, and I wanted to become a missionary pilot. I'd be a missionary pilot anywhere in the world. I thought it was the funnest type of flying that I could possibly do, and really honestly, I wasn't sure that an airline would hire me. Because of all of my certificates, it took me a while to get my certificates, and because of the fact that I had been divorced, I found out after I got those certificates that missionary groups just really wouldn't take me. I was over the age of 40, I'd been divorced, and I'd also had I had no A&P license, which really kind of surprised me that I wouldn't be able to get hired with them. So I thought, well, I need a backup plan, which is where I started my career with Embry-Riddle. I went to Embry-Riddle, and then I found out that there was a career fair. So I went to the career fair and talked to the airlines there, just as a, well, what do I do? Where do I go? And what can I do? And I talked with American Airlines, and they said, no problem, you just don't have enough hours. So go do this, this, and this. And what they said was either become an instructor, which I really didn't want to do. I'd already taught firefighters for several years, and or get a job with a small commuter. So I just started putting out my applications, and I just persevered. The one thing I never did was I never gave up. I still will not give up. The airline that I got hired with is a small commuter airline. It's a time-building airline, and it's been fantastic. One thing that I learned during this process was that at age 40 it's harder to do things than it was when I was at age 20. My memory isn't as sharp as it was. It takes me a little while longer to get stuff out of the hard drive. I'm a little slower on the uptake with some new concepts. And I also learned that after age 40, things are easier to do than when I was 20. And they're easier to do because I've got more experience, I have more life experience, I've got an ego that's typically in check, I'll say most of the time, and I'm just more relaxed with a lot of the stuff that comes at you. during flying and flight training. It's not easy to be in a very secure career, whether you like it or not, and then find out that you're not going to be able to do it anymore. So your path might be a little different than mine, but if you're over the age of 40 and you want to become an airline pilot, the biggest thing I can tell you is don't give up. Never give up. Always keep the faith. Perseverance is the name of the game in getting your name out there. And if you want something bad enough, go for it. Find the resources to do what you want to do. And again, always keep the faith. Never give up. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later.